looking for this?
Welcome back to BoomShot. I'm Kale. This is Colby,
Yes,
and it's been a while for me. I haven't been.
Welcome back, dude.
Yeah, I've been gone. It's been busy. But we are at the end of the year, which is so crazy to believe, dude. And
right.
as usual, as is our tradition, we're going to be ranking the top movies and top shows that we watched this year. This video is specifically for movies, okay? So let's go ahead and jump right to it. Starting now. So number 5 movie. I guess I'm up first. So put me on the spot, why don't you? Let's see. Low-key, I'm thinking right now, I might go Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This was a solid film. I got there a little bit late, so I was like rushing into the theater, but it was really good.
And the worst part was probably the people behind us laughing at all the rocket scenes that were sad. They were just making jokes and laughing. I was
like stupid noises, yeah, and crap like that. So theater experience is definitely a big deal. We've talked about that a lot. But I think that would probably be my number 5 movie this year.
For me at the 5 spot, I'm gonna have to go The Blind.
The Blind. Ooh, a sneaky selection.
I'm going with The Blind. If you don't know about this movie, it's the Duck Dynasty movie.
Heck yeah.
About Phil Robertson. So, that's pretty close to home. And we just did an ancestry test. My great-grandpa, he's still living. He went to school with the Robertsons.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Dang.
And so, like, my heritage is from Louisiana. So, I don't know. I just really like this movie. If you haven't seen it, I'd recommend it to anybody. So that's going to sneak into my 5 spot.
Heck yeah. So number 4, it gets because like I know my top 2. I know my top 2 for sure. But this part is very difficult, and I'm surveying the area. But I think I'm gonna go with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This movie was solid. It was very enjoyable. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is like a franchise that we haven't seen on the big screen in a while. I think the last time we saw them on the big screen was 2014. But making this movie animated was a very smart idea. It reminded me a lot of Spider-Verse, but with its own kicks and twists and stuff like that. The voice acting was incredible. The story was incredible. It was also hilarious. So I think they handled this movie really well, and I really enjoyed it.
At my 4th spot, I'm going to have to go... The Hunger Games, The Battle of Songbirds and Snakes.
Ooh, another sneaky one.
For me, this movie, I think many years could go number 1, honestly.
Yeah.
I loved it that much, and I think this and Oppenheimer are the 2 movies I walked out of this year, like the most, like, speechless, just about how it made you think. And I'm still thinking about it to this day, and I want to go watch it again, and I feel like I would have similar thinkings coming out of it about how good it was. So that's gonna be my 4th spot.
Heck yeah.
4 different movies so far. It's pretty.
Yeah, that is incredible. So I think number 3 for me will be another shock. This is gonna be crazy, but this was a year for animation in my opinion, dude. And Super Mario Bros. Was an absolute blast.
Dang,
I did not expect to like this movie as much as I did. I like walked in and this was like right after Quantumania, and I was still feeling the
a little down for that.
I was still feeling a little down. I was like, our movie's over? And then I walked out of this movie and I was like, heck no, that's not. Like, this movie is so much fun. It's quick and to the point, and it's not like really deep, but I think that's probably what its appeal was.
And you had probably the song of the year.
Oh yeah, Peaches.
Yeah, you had
Can
Peaches.
You beat that?
You had Peaches in this. That's an all-time bop right there.
Yeah.
And, I feel the same way about this movie. It was great.
It was so generic that it was different. It just worked. I don't know what it was, but I really loved this movie. So that's my number 3.
Okay, but at my 3 spot, this is gonna be a shocker to a lot of people. I think I'm going Spider-Verse.
Ooh, what? I did not actually see that coming.
I'm going Across the Spider-Verse.
Okay, why?
I think my top is just really convoluted. It can be different any day.
Oh, okay. Now that I think about it, I know where you're going with this.
It could be different, like, any day of the week, really. My top three, I feel like. And honestly, I could say 4. I think Hunger Games are right up there with it, too. So, today, and I've thought about it a lot recently as well, and the way I've been feeling is it at 3. You'll see my next 2, but I love this movie. It's a 5. I mean, on Letterboxd, I gave it a 5 out of 5. So,
yeah.
It's not a knock on this movie. It's going 3. I think there's just the 2 other movies are like some of my favorite movies ever. So.
Yeah, okay, I definitely understand that, and you'll see where he's going. It makes a lot of sense. So for number 2, which I would say we would need to rank number 1, but we actually don't, because we could go anywhere with this. I feel like people probably know me well enough to know where I'm going with this, but I'm gonna honestly have to put Oppenheimer at 2.
What?
I'm gonna have to put Oppenheimer at 2, dude. I'm shocked. I'm shocked by
I'm
this.
shocked. I can't believe it.
I freaking love this movie, dude. Oppenheimer is still my Twitter profile picture. Like, I still have it. He's my Twitter banner too. But this movie was incredible. It was incredible. It's 7 out of 5. Like, it's that good. But the thing that hit me the most with this movie was the ending. Yeah. Just the way that it started and the way that it ended, and he's like, I believe we did. Like, that shook me to my core, dude. I still watch it to this day. But for number 1, you'll see, we can talk about like the disparities between our 1 and 2, but I'm going to have to leave Oppenheimer right there, and I'll explain it in a minute.
But, okay, for my number 2, I'm actually going to go Guardians.
What?
I'm going Guardians.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Where'd you think I was going?
I thought, I can't say it.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about it later. But to me, like Caleb said, we watched the first time together, and I wasn't as high on it as I was the second time, actually. I went and watched it again. Mm-hmm. And the second time, like, we didn't have those people behind us being annoying. And, like, I feel like our movie theater is always hot.
Dude, literally. It's horrible.
And so this time I went in there and I was like, hey, can y'all turn down theater 7 AC? And she was like, yeah. So it wasn't as hot. And I just had a more enjoyable experience. And I feel like it hit me in the feels even more the second time. Like, and if we ever do our top 10 characters of all time, like Rocket Raccoon, man. I think the whole emotional story just really hit me to my core. And Guardians, we've been with the Guardians like half our life. Yeah. So I think it was just a good way to end it. James Gunn going to the DCU now. So. But
for number 1, I feel like it was a foregone conclusion. After I put Op at 2, I got to go with Spider-Verse at 1. And we'll let you rank your second one or your number 1 movie, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I'm going Op.
Yeah, going Op. Yeah.
Going Op.
Okay.
So where'd you think I was going at the 2 spot?
I thought you were gonna go Op right here, and then I thought you were gonna go Guardians right there, because that's what it had sounded like all year. So. Yeah,
and we watched Oppenheimer twice in IMAX as well, so I got to see both of them twice.
Yeah.
And like I said, the top 3, really 4, are like some of my favorite movies in recent memory. So.
Yeah. Some of my favorite movies, Oppenheimer is one of my favorite movies of all time, and so is Spider-Verse. But I think what distinguished it for me is, like, I loved Oppenheimer. I thought it was fantastic. Like, following his life was incredible. Like, I feel like I learned so much. But, like, you get to see, like, I felt so bad for him, but at the same time, like, you didn't. Because, like, he did a lot of it to himself, but, like, he also got, like, majorly screwed by the government and stuff like that. And so it was really, like, it made me feel for him, and I loved that. I loved the way that, especially, like I said, the ending was just beautiful. And then the music was also beautiful. It's like, that's something that I definitely appreciate as somebody who, like, listens to soundtracks pretty regularly. Like, the soundtrack for this movie was goated. But the reason I put Spider-Verse at number 1 is I think these 2 movies could go neck and neck for me at any point. But I just love, like, the way that they're taking, like, Miles' story in this movie, talking about how, like, he's, like, everybody keeps on telling him, like, how to live his story or something. Like, he's like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. Like,
yeah, that's true.
I love that. Like, and I would just listen to the soundtrack and be like, dude, no, like, you don't have to be, like, what people tell you to be. You can be different. And it just hit me. It hit me right there. So that's why I liked it.
Yeah, I like that. And that's a good point. That's something that I think I've only seen. Did we watch this again?
What?
Spider-Verse?
Yeah, we did. We watched it twice.
Okay. Yeah, so on my top 3 movies I've seen twice, and I want to watch the 4th one twice. But like I said, my top movies, I feel like they're pretty interchangeable. And the more I think about Oppenheimer, the more I think, like, I appreciate it because it's historical, and I learned stuff that I didn't know before. And just, if things didn't go the way they did, and just the whole process of what happened during that time, it changed history forever. Like, it impacted our lives. So I think it was cool to learn about. And like I said, it just landed my 1 spot. But Guardians was my number 1, even after we saw Oppenheimer. But like you said, Can You Hear the Music? That's still a bop for me to this day. Yeah. It gets me in my feels, quite frankly.
It does. It does.
So, and just the acting performances and same voice acting in Spider-Verse and Guardians. Chris Pratt, I think, did a great job. But the acting performances in Oppenheimer may be the best I've ever seen. So I was really into the story. Yeah. And especially watching it in IMAX too. So
yeah, I think for me, like I said, it came down to, like, the message and like what I took from it. Like, I took from Oppenheimer what you took from it, but I don't think it overshadowed what I took from Spider-Verse. That's the only reason I have Spider-Verse above, I think.
Yeah.
But that's our top, that's our top movies. Obviously, we're not the definitive source on what's the best. This is just our opinion. But any last thoughts?
Do you want to give a couple honorable mentions?
Honorable mention. Honorable mention number 1, The Flash, dude. I feel like this movie was high key overrated, or overhated. Sorry, no, overhated. I feel like this movie was high key overhated. It was so much. It was fun, dude. It was fun. Yes, it had bad CGI, but and yes, Ezra Miller is very annoying. But like, it was.
I agree with you.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I really enjoyed it. And
scenes.
it made fun of itself in the best ways possible. Like like that self-deprecating humor worked for it, I think. And honestly, that's the same thing with Aquaman wherever it's at. It made fun of itself in all the right ways too, which is why I think I enjoyed Aquaman so much. Like, it almost cracked my top 5 because I enjoyed it that much. So
and rest in peace to the DCEU. Yeah. Final year of it.
Gone but not forgotten.
Gone but not forgotten, dude. It went out with 2 solid movies, I think.
Yeah, it did. I think it went out with 2 solid movies, 2 overhated movies, but 2 solid ones. Also, I guess I'll give a shout out to Leave the World Behind and Rebel Moon. We talked about Rebel Moon a lot, but we never did. I ended up watching it, but we never ended up covering it. And then both of these movies were Netflix exclusives, but I love movies like Leave the World Behind. It's like an apocalyptic type thing. And then this one was just like Zack Snyder Star Wars. So they were just enjoyable. So there's my shout outs.
Yeah, I guess my shout outs would be probably Air.
Okay.
That was an early on in the year movie, and it would have been in my top 5 if it weren't for all these great movies later on.
Facts.
I think also it was kind of a historical thing too, with maybe not as impactful on the rest of history, but in sports history it was when Jordan signed that deal with getting royalties and stuff. And I think it was really cool to learn because Nike wouldn't be able to. I mean, it's the biggest brand.
It's one of the biggest brands in general.
Yeah, so it was just really cool to see, and I love how a lot of people didn't like how they never showed Jordan's face, but he was just kind of there because he's Jordan. He's the GOAT. He was there and he signed the deal and it impacted Nike forever. So I thought that was cool. And my other one would probably be Mission Impossible, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
We saw it in IMAX on the boys' trip.
Yeah,
that we did the chicken video.
Yeah,
we saw it that weekend, and that was the first time we saw an IMAX movie.
Yeah,
because we don't really have one near us, but we traveled for Op. But I really loved it, and I'm excited for part 2.
Yeah, it was it just came out a bad time. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, horrible time.
It came out at a horrible time. Right before Oppenheimer, it really didn't stand a chance between Oppenheimer and Barbie, which is sad because it was good. So but that's our list and our honorable mentions. So let us know what you guys think. Do you agree with this? Do you not agree with this? Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.